Fucking hell, finally. Right, hey guys, welcome to another episode in the playthrough of Gran Turismo 7. This race, I literally was at it yesterday, one episode I think of 2.5 hours, then a win run of half an hour with 20 tries in between. And today also like 4 or 5 hours. The thing is, I can win the race easily. Initially in the before last episode, I actually drove it without traction control on, and that is really not doable to win then, because the other cars, they do have traction control on, so it's not a level playing field. So then in the previous episode, I did a win run with traction control, I think, yes, at 1 or maybe 3, I think 3 eventually out of 5. And I won the race, but it was not really a clean run. I think I bumped into a car in the last lap or something, because in those races, it depends a little bit on the circumstances, but in that specific race, or all those attempts, because if you retry within a race, you keep the same variables. Only if you totally stop the championship, you go back to the main menu, and then you go back into the championship, some variables may change. And one of them is the amount of rain that falls. Sometimes it's a drizzle, other times it's really like a storm. But anyways, in those previous attempts, the RX-7 was extremely fast, so it really was almost not doable. But I did want to win it more cleanly, and I think that was the previous episode, that it was not really a clean run. So now today I was at it again. Then I figured out what I also wanted is it's much more immersive, is really heavy rain. So I had to restart the championship a couple of times until the weather conditions was heavy rain, because it's much more challenging, etc. And the benefit of that actually is that the RX-7 also is less fast. It's also a front rear-wheel drive. So in the drizzle, that RX-7 was just a goner. He had such a big gap over the rest of the field. But in the rain, it's much more hectic. So there, he's a little bit more balanced with the rest. The only thing is that what I noticed in heavy rain, that the NSX, which is a 4-wheel drive car, is really pretty quick, but not as quick as the RX-7 in the drizzle. Anywho, what I wanted to do was a cleaner win, and honestly this race was not that clean because I had a couple of contacts. I will watch the replay. I don't really remember exactly because I did so many attempts. It's a little bit confusing to remember the specifics of each one of them, but I wanted a more clean win, but I also wanted a race in the heavy rain, because it is actually for me also a learning moment. This race may have took me like 7 hours or something, but it really allowed me the opportunity to get a feel for the rain physics in this game. And it is really pretty amazing, because every time it rains, other parts of the track get very wet and others have like less rain, there's more grip. So it's pretty dynamic actually. So yeah, I wanted the rain physics, or the heavy rain, and also at one point, because it really was so tough, especially in the heavy rain, what I thought, like, okay, I will just put the traction control to 5, and then it is much easier. So to just challenge myself, I don't think it's possible to win this race without traction control, because you're spinning. It's really like walking on ice. But what I did do is like a limitation I put on myself, is I kept it at 3 out of 5, which is still quite a lot of wheel spin and sliding around, honestly, in the heavy rain. So that's why it took me forever, because it was constantly like minute oversteering or minute too much throttle, and then you spin out, and or you start to fishtail, and you really don't have time to spare because the AI is really quite quick. And actually I really like it that there's really a challenge in this game. But yeah, so traction control 3, heavy rain, and more or less a clean win is what I set out to do. And now I will do one replay cockpit view just to see where I made contact, because I do think I made contact. And if it really is like an unrealistic contact, like that in real life racing you would never have been able to finish the race, so to say, then I may do it again. I don't know, because I've been at it for so long. I think I bumped that up Gallardo a little bit. I think that was not very clean, but we will see it. So a first person cockpit view replay and then the outside replay to really get this event out of my system, or this race. It's part of a 3 race championship. The first race this is 600 WTC. But yeah, I've been spending so much time here. It's just to get it out of my system. It's so annoying that I don't think there is a button to change. Here on the controller it is R1, which changes the camera. But on the wheel there is no button. Ah, there is. Nice. It's triangle. I wanted to say there's no button that changes the camera, but there actually is. Very nice. Alright, here we go. Man, it's such a beautiful game. I'm still mesmerized by it. Alright, this corner I actually did pretty decent, because normally what I do just to gain like a couple of pence, I go wide here, then you can actually, I think you're quicker. But that's really not, I really try to be realistic. Also that's why for the immersion I turn off the HUD, it's totally distracting. But I also don't want to go super wide or wall racing, wall hugging or whatever, however you call it. Just to get the win. I really want to do it fair and square like you would do in real life. And this first lap, it's quite heavy rain. It's not all on the track, it's just in certain spots, which is really pretty cool. This whole rain physics, it's amazing, to be honest. It starts to rain quite hard, but there is still currently quite some, at least here, quite some grip. And that's also interesting of that rain mechanic. The longer it rains, the slipperier it gets. Alright, this was decent. No contact. Yeah, I bumped him a little bit. I really kamikazed myself in between, because normally I'm already a little bit ahead. This was a slow start, so I thought to make it up here. So yeah. Kamikaze. He helped me out also a little bit, not going wide, but it was not so much me, it was also him just steering into my car. Here, he goes into my car. The only thing that I'm wondering is if he wouldn't have done that, because I do think he kept me. I wonder if I would have then went off track. I don't know. Alright, I will just leave it be. It is really not the cleanest, it are not the cleanest laps, but it's so tricky. Again, and this is 2 corners in a row that I'm overshooting. I wonder if I don't do that, I really should be able to honestly, maybe this one is not even that hard. Like how the field is now with the heavy rain, etc. The RX-7, it's a little bit nerfed now in the rain. It cannot really fully, it's not as quick as otherwise. My problem was that I always spun out like in the second or third or first lap, or there was some contact and that I started over. But once you are through those first 3 laps, then it dries up and it becomes much easier. So maybe I could do it one more time and then without these stupid contacts and going wide, etc. On the other hand, yeah, do I need to have a perfect race? Not really. But it's also just, how do you say, an objective that I set for myself. It's not really rational. I mean, the rational thing to do is, let's say, okay, I have a win, let's continue to the next one. But I would just like to do this one in heavy rain with little grip, so traction control 3 only, and a clean race. No bumping and helping, yeah, doing unrealistic stuff. And I didn't have that much bumping. I mean, in real races, there's also some contact, of course. And that Gallardo, whatever it is, or Huracan, what is, by the way, the difference between a Gallardo and a Huracan? They're both those smaller Lamborghinis, right? I think the Gallardo is the older one and the Huracan is the successor. Alright, but anyways, he bumped me not that hard, but still, also these 2 corners where I went wide, it would be so nice to win this, really driving it super clean. other hand, there are some corners where you also have to overtake, and there are like there's in the next lap, in that second 90-degree corner or even sharper on top of the hill, I have to really pass like 4 cars. It's really hectic. Getting through there, it's really unpredictable whether that will be can be done cleanly. Here, going wide over here, a little bit. Right, now it's drying up, I think. Although, if this is the third lap, then still we go now at the top of that little hill there to the right, and then we go downhill. Still there it is super tricky. There you really have to brake early there, because even though it appears to be drier, at least not as much rain from the sky, it is still very slippery over there. It's very easy. Here, this is to overshoot the corner at the top, down at the bottom of the hill. But this is where I really gained quite some places, but it's really some tricky. Here, I can go wide, right? Yeah. A little bit. Here, a little bit of contact, but that was not me, that was just an AI car bumping me from behind. Here, this is what I mean. It looks dry from the sky, but this is where I often... now I even spun around here, man. And again, so that means I made so many mistakes that if I will not do that, it is pretty winnable actually. I do think I will go and try to do it more cleanly. Again, white, god damn it. So we are now, I think in the 4th or the 5th lap. 4th. Normally I would have thought like, okay, that NSX is so far behind, can I even still make it? But apparently you can. Did I say NSX is so far behind? I mean in front, of course. If I said behind, not what I meant. There was also contact here. But I think that is also, yeah, that is just that RX-7 bumping into me. This is not where I really win. Where I gain are this middle section. Here, this corner, the AI is quite slow. And then here you can smash it. And then over here as well. This is where the AI is pretty slow. But now you see that RX-7 is also getting quicker now. He's in the rear view mirror because it dries up. It's really an exhilarating race. Because once you're in front, you really have to drive defensively. Over here as well you can gain a bit. And over here you can also gain. Weird thing is that now suddenly that in the rear view mirror that the RX-7 is not that quick, but now the Skyline is, or the GTR is becoming much quicker. Or maybe I was just slow here, but he is gaining in the rear view mirror. He's just much faster. Check it out. Sliding around. Alright, I do think I am gonna try and do it a bit more clean. It is just a matter of, yeah, it's almost undoable to do it totally clean, but I just want to do it a little bit more cleaner, so I will just do that in this episode. Oh shit. But now I wonder if I now retire, does the weather will probably reset, which totally changes the dynamics of the race. Fuck me. Because it really depends where it rains on the track, and I did so many attempts, I knew exactly where the grip was and where it wasn't. Yeah, now it's there's no rain now, or at least doesn't really look rainy. I do see some rain. Yeah, no. Yes, there's... but it's less, right? I don't know. It's quite a lot. I don't know when the variables, sometimes also one or two of the AI cars change when you quit a race or an event and you go back in. I don't know when that happens. When you really go back to the full main menu, the map with the world and all the activities of Gran Turismo, or whether you just cancel out of an event or a championship and you're still in that sub menu where we just were. we were in the submenu of the, I think it's called World Circuits, whether it then also resets any variables like the competitor cars or the amount of rain. I think maybe not, so that would be good, because that means if it doesn't reset, if you're not going back into the real main menu of the game, then there is a good chance that I still have the same weather conditions as previously in the win run. Alright, here we go. Although it really looks drier to me. Ah, no, nice. Yeah, it's much drier. It's totally different race. That's a pity, because now it's super easy to win, or at least. Although now the RX-7 will be much faster. Alright, I was in the wrong gear, I lost time here. It looks pretty much the same, but yeah, drier. The AI and car positioning. This way, without real rain, it really is different. But then again, there's so much more grip. And still I managed to screw up, but the thing is, I will try to win this one, but probably it's not even possible, because the RX-7 will just be a goner. Which is super fast in the dry. easy with traction control 3 in the drizzle. Heavy rain is totally different. But maybe it will still start to rain. Screwed up that corner. Right, I think the RX-7, yeah, it is now gaining a place. Once the RX-7 is in the lead, you really have a problem, or I have a problem. NSX is suddenly also super quick. Fuck me. Please don't overtake. Don't overtake. Going wide. Come on. They're so much quicker than my car. God damn it. I don't think I can make it actually. Especially not if the RX-7 will, fuck me, there he goes. I lost it there. I went wide. Fuck me, fuck me. Alright, so that's the weird thing of this race. In the wet, yeah, it's more of a toss-up, but in the dry, I think maybe I could win, but they're just so quick. It's really they just have a much quicker car than I have. Come on. Doesn't happen often that I'm already past the hurricane over there. Really, that's the cool thing with different weather conditions. Really have to adjust your driving style. You have to be much more aggressive. Alright, it was a bump, but that was really a small one, and this was not like me pushing somebody out of the way or anything. Alright, I will never make it anymore. Yeah, there's no use now continuing, because the NSX and the RX-7, they will only have increased their leads. There's not enough time to get to them, for me at least, within 5 laps. You really need to drive a clean race. Little shortcut there, but think I can carry much more speed through that corner, honestly. Fucking hell. I think that was not so much me, that was the AI car bumping into me. Fuck me, totally. Overshot almost at first corner. Fuck me, that NSX in the RX-7. It's just not fair. Only thing that I need to, that must not happen, is the RX-7 getting into the leads. Then he is so much a goner. This is what I mean, how a mistake is in such, in Dutch we say small corner. Oh my God. All right, I will just, otherwise this, yeah. I want to say this can take 2 hours or it can take 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I will try it one more time. Otherwise I will do it just like the wind run at the start. I just did it in between episodes, or I discarded all my failed attempts. I will probably do that again. I want one more rain race and a little bit more cleaner win than the one at the start of this episode. It would be very nice if I can win this dry race as well. I am somewhat getting close to. through them. But it's still very tricky. Especially if the RX-7 gets into the leads. This is what it's so annoying. Normally that is a little bit too random in the model, and now it's not the model, because it can be that there's some new puddle of water or something, but how I took that corner, I took it like 100 times that exact same way and everything goes right, and then suddenly sometimes randomly you just spin out. My steering wheel was straightened. I just floored the throttle. There is traction control going on, so it should not immediately spin up the wheels, or at least not as much, because we don't have traction control fully on. And I don't think I got bumped from behind. It's just really weird. And this is what makes the sense of accomplishment once you get it all bigger, but it is super frustrating. All the frustration that you have along the way, like a failure like this, it's so frustrating, because it really doesn't make any sense.